Money, fame, and heartbreak. The NFL has it all, but some players' off-field dramas make game day stories look tame. There are some jaw-dropping tales of NFL stars who lost millions to tumultuous relationships and alleged gold-digging schemes. Take Earl Thomas, for instance, a once dominant Seattle Seahawks safety. His estranged wife, Nina, allegedly drained millions from his accounts, funding luxury splurges like a Hermes Birkin bag. And that's just the tip of their wild saga. Then there's Terrell Owens, whose 3-day marriage ended with hefty alimony demands. Yes, 3 days. And Michael Strahan? His divorce from Jean Mugley reportedly cost him $15.3 million, plus monthly child support payments that would fund a small nation. From shocking betrayals to high-stakes court battles, these stories will leave you questioning where love ends and financial disaster begins. Stick around, this rollercoaster of drama is just getting started. Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas allegedly had $2.7 million stolen by his estranged wife.
Once a superstar safety for the Seattle Seahawks, Earl Thomas has had his share of drama off the field, and it's just as wild as his plays on game day. His relationship with his now estranged wife, Nina Thomas, is the kind of story that feels ripped straight out of a tabloid. In April 2020, Nina was arrested after allegedly holding Earl at gunpoint upon discovering him in bed with other women and his brother, Seth. She reportedly tracked him down using his Snapchat location and confronted him with a loaded firearm, leading to her arrest on charges including burglary with intent to commit aggravated assault. Following this incident, Nina filed for divorce in November 2020, citing adultery as the cause of their split. The divorce proceedings were accompanied by further allegations, including a restraining order granted against Earl after he allegedly attacked Nina while intoxicated in December 2021. The most recent development in their tumultuous relationship involves serious financial allegations. In December 2024, Nina was charged with multiple crimes, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud, money laundering, and aggravated identity theft. Prosecutors allege that beginning in September 2021, shortly after filing for divorce, Nina and an accomplice illegally transferred over $2.7 million from Earl's accounts into their own. Some of the funds were reportedly spent on personal luxuries, such as breast implants and a Hermes Birkin bag. Now, the financial fallout is adding another layer to their chaotic story. Earl claims Nina's actions left him in a precarious financial position, which is shocking for someone who earned millions in the NFL. Up next is another NFL player who got divorced very quickly for a fat alimony. Terrell Owens. The legendary NFL wide receiver is no stranger to drama on and off the field, but one of his wildest moments will surprise you. A marriage that lasted just 3 days. Yep, you read that right. 72 hours. In January 2014, T.O. secretly tied the knot with Rachel Snyder, a postal worker from Texas. But before the ink was even dry on their marriage certificate, things completely fell apart. Just 3 days later, they split, and by Valentine's Day, Owens had filed for divorce. Rachel claimed Terrell only married her to get his hands on her credit so he could secure a $2 million loan for a fancy house in California. On top of that, she demanded alimony after their blink-and-you-missed-it marriage. Imagine asking for spousal support from a marriage shorter than a long weekend. At the time, T.O. was already dealing with financial struggles, including massive child support payments, so this was the last thing he needed. The divorce dragged on for almost 2 years, and reports suggest that he paid a hefty alimony. Owens later said he was just happy to put the whole thing behind him, calling it a lesson learned. The following NFL star quickly realized his mistake when a divorce settlement left a huge dent in his bank account. Michael Strahan.
Apparently, Michael Strahan's ex-wife cannot make it with $18,000 a month.
Well, the former NFL superstar and TV personality went through a headline-grabbing divorce with his second wife, Jean Mugley, back in 2006, and it came with a jaw-dropping price tag. After 7 years of marriage and welcoming their twin daughters in 2004, the couple called it quits in one of the most expensive splits in sports history. Jean walked away with a whopping $15.3 million in the settlement, plus a hefty $18,000 a month in child support for their girls. That's right, $18,000 a month. And even though the amount was later lowered to $13,000 when Strahan retired, it's safe to say the financial hit was still significant. But it didn't end there. Over the years, the exes kept sparring over money, including arguments about covering their daughter's pricey horseback riding lessons. Let's just say this divorce wasn't exactly a clean break. Despite all the drama, Strahan didn't let the financial fallout slow him down. He transitioned from the NFL to become a beloved TV star, co-hosting shows like Good Morning America and Fox NFL Sunday. While he's crushing it professionally, his high high-profile divorce remains a reminder of just how costly love can be, especially when it's played out in the public eye. But Strahan isn't the only NFL star whose personal life came with a hefty price tag. Wait until you hear about this next one. Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber, the former New York Giants running back, found himself in a media storm when his 11-year marriage to Ginny Cha ended in 2010. The split was anything but amicable, especially considering the timing. Ginny was pregnant with their twin daughters when Tiki's relationship with 23-year-old NBC intern Tracy Lynn Johnson became public. As the divorce proceedings dragged on, Ginny reportedly demanded a hefty $150,000 per month in alimony. However, Tiki claimed he couldn't afford such a substantial amount, citing financial difficulties and a loss of income after his NBC correspondent role ended. In April 2012, after nearly 2 years of legal battles, Tiki and Ginny reached a divorce settlement. While the exact figures weren't publicly disclosed, it's believed that Ginny received less than the $150,000 per month she initially sought. The former couple has 2 sons, and shortly after Ginny filed for divorce, she gave birth to twin girls. But do you think $150,000 per month is a bit too much? If you think Tiki Barber's divorce was dramatic, wait until you hear about this next NFL star's messy split. Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is considered one of the best NFL players, but he didn't play his cards right when it came to personal life. He experienced a highly publicized and financially significant divorce from his second wife, Pilar Sanders, in 2013. The couple, who married in 1999 and have 3 children together, faced a tumultuous separation marked by legal battles and media scrutiny. During the divorce proceedings, a Texas judge ruled that the prenuptial agreement between Deion and Pilar was valid, stipulating that Pilar would receive $1 million upon the finalization of the divorce. Additionally, Deion was ordered to pay $10,500 per month in child support for their 3 children. That is $31,500 in child support out of the bank balance every month. While the exact total of the divorce settlement remains undisclosed, the combination of the $1 million lump sum and ongoing child support payments indicates that Deion Sanders paid a substantial amount, likely totaling several $million, to finalize the divorce. Now, the next divorce settlement might surprise you how much it cost the NFL star. John Elway. The legendary Denver Broncos quarterback experienced a high-profile divorce from his first wife, Janet Elway, in 2003 after 18 years of marriage. The couple, who met at Stanford University, have 4 children together: Juliana, Jessica, Jordan, and Jack. As part of the divorce settlement, Janet received a substantial portion of their assets, including a 17,000-square-foot home. She planned to open this expansive residence to charitable fundraisers, reflecting her commitment to philanthropy. While the exact financial details of the settlement remain private, it's clear that John Elway's personal life experienced a significant shift. The divorce not only impacted his family dynamics, but also had financial implications, including the division of assets and ongoing support obligations. Despite the challenges, John Elway continued to build a successful post-football career, serving as the general manager and president of football operations for the Denver Broncos. His personal life, however, remained a topic of public interest, with his past relationships and financial obligations frequently making headlines. Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any crazier, this next NFL divorce took things to a whole new level. Ryson. Well, the former NFL wide receiver was known for his flashy playing style and even flashier lifestyle. However, after retiring from football, things took a dramatic turn for the worse financially. Despite earning millions throughout his career, Ryson faced serious money troubles due to poor financial management, high spending, and unpaid debts. In 2007, Ryson filed for bankruptcy, owing a significant amount in child support and other debts. At the time, he owed over $105,000 in back child support, which became a major financial burden. This led to a court-ordered bankruptcy to help settle his financial obligations. The situation got even worse when he was sentenced to 5 years of probation and ordered to pay more than $300,000 in restitution for the missed child support payments. But the money problems didn't stop there. Ryson also faced a claim from his ex-wife, who alleged that he didn't pay a $94,000 settlement. His financial struggles were a result of his lifestyle, which included spending a lot on luxury cars, jewelry, one-night stands, and crazy nights out. He famously went through his $19 million NFL earnings quickly, leaving him in a tough spot. Talk about being a heavy spender. Now let's talk about another NFL star who learned the hard way that not everyone around them is after their heart, some are after their bank account. Troy Aikman. The world-famous Dallas Cowboys quarterback went through a pretty costly breakup with his first wife, Rhonda Worthy, in 2011. After 11 years of marriage and 2 daughters together, the couple called it quits, and it wasn't cheap for Troy. The divorce settlement reportedly left Rhonda with a cool $1.75 million in cash, a $1.5 million home, and an ongoing flow of child and spousal support. That's a pretty hefty price tag for a split, but then again, when you're a Super Bowl winning quarterback, the stakes are higher. But let's just say things didn't exactly settle quietly after the divorce. Rhonda, who had a somewhat low-key life before the split, found herself in the headlines again in 2012 when she was arrested for public intoxication in a high school parking lot. Not exactly the peaceful post-divorce vibe one might expect, but it definitely kept her in the media spotlight for a while. For Troy, the divorce didn't just affect his wallet, it made headlines. He bounced back from the personal drama by continuing his successful career as a sports broadcaster. However, things weren't always smooth sailing. Troy went through another high-profile divorce a few years later, which led him to admit that he hit rock bottom after his second marriage ended. So while Troy Aikman's football career was about winning championships, his personal life, let's just say, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, especially when you add up the cost of his divorces. Up next is another NFL star who suffered a major blow to his bank balance, Joe Montana. The NFL legend, known for leading the San Francisco 49ers to 4 Super Bowl victories, might have been a champion on the field, but his personal life was a different story. When his marriage to his first wife, Kim Moses, hit the rocks, things got messy fast. After their divorce in 2011, Montana reportedly paid her a hefty $10 million in a settlement, but that wasn't the end of the drama. Montana wasn't done yet. In 2008, Montana went to court, suing his first ex-wife for making money off him, specifically for selling his personal memorabilia. You'd think Hall of Famers memorabilia would stay in a museum, right? But Kim Moses had other plans, selling his old football gear, letters, and other items, making a tidy sum off Joe's name. Montana wasn't having it, claiming his privacy was violated and that Moses was profiting off him unfairly. This lawsuit only added fuel to the fire of an already explosive breakup, with Montana accusing her of exploiting his fame for financial gain. Despite 2 divorces, Montana, being the cool-headed quarterback he was, didn't let the drama affect his career too much. But that divorce settlement of $10 million. That's a tough hit for anyone, especially when it's paired with legal battles over memorabilia. It's safe to say Joe Montana's ex was playing her own game off the field, making sure she was financially comfortable after their split. The whole saga left everyone wondering if she had found the ultimate playbook for post-divorce success. This next NFL star's divorce took an even more jaw-dropping turn and results to make him question his choices. Antonio Kromati. The former NFL cornerback, known for his dynamic playing style, has a personal life that's as complex as his on-field maneuvers. Over the years, Kromati fathered 14 children with 8 different women, leading to substantial child support obligations. It makes you wonder why he didn't stop to understand that it would cost him a lot in the future. As per updates, he was paying approximately $336,000 annually, about $3,500 per month for each child. In 2010, the New York Jets gave Antonio Kromati a $500,000 advance so he could pay back child support. 6 years later, we now know how Kromati racked up such a large bill. However, the financial strain of supporting a large family has been a concern. In 2016, reports indicated that Kromati was facing potential arrest due to unpaid child support, but he avoided this outcome by securing a 1-year, $3 million contract with the Indianapolis Colts. Coming up is another NFL player who lost millions in the divorce settlement, Chad Johnson. The former NFL wide receiver, known for his flamboyant personality and on-field prowess, experienced a whirlwind romance and an even more tumultuous divorce from reality TV star Evelyn Lozada. The couple's marriage lasted a mere 41 days, from July 4th to August 14th, 2012, before Lozada filed for divorce following a domestic dispute. The football player allegedly headbutted the VH1 reality TV star. A representative for Loz, while the exact terms of their divorce settlement remain confidential, experts speculate that Lozada likely received a substantial sum. Given Johnson's earnings during his NFL career and his ventures in reality television, it's reasonable to assume that Lozada secured a significant financial package. However, due to the prenuptial agreement in place, the settlement was likely less than what she might have received without it. The cruel consequences of their marriage and the circumstances surrounding their split have kept the details of their financial settlement under wraps. Nonetheless, the public nature of their relationship and subsequent divorce has sparked discussions about the financial implications of short-lived celebrity marriages. Let's talk about the next NFL star whose personal life became as unpredictable as his game on the field, Derek Ward. Known for his time with the New York Giants and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Ward married Naomi Lee Allen in 2012, and they seemed like the perfect couple until they weren't. The pair had 2 kids together, a daughter and a son, but things started to sour fast. In 2018, Naomi filed for divorce, and the reasons were more than a little dramatic. According to Naomi, their marriage fell apart because of verbal, emotional, and physical abuse, including some pretty wild incidents in front of their children. It was a messy split, and the details were enough to leave people talking. While the exact amount Derek had to cough up in the settlement hasn't been revealed, it's rumored that he paid a hefty sum to Naomi. Given that his net worth was around $8 million when all of this went down, it's safe to say she walked away with a decent chunk of his cash. But the financial drama didn't stop there. After the divorce, things took another turn for the worse for Ward. In 2024, he was arrested in connection with multiple gas station robberies in Los Angeles. His bail was set at $250,000. It seemed like a far cry from the NFL field, and his once promising career was now overshadowed by legal troubles. The arrest, combined with his ongoing financial obligations from the divorce, definitely painted a picture of a man struggling to stay afloat. So, from NFL star to facing serious financial and legal issues, Derek Ward's post-divorce life has been anything but easy. It's safe to say he's learned the hard way that the price of a messy split can come with a lot of baggage. The next NFL star learned the hard way that divorce settlements can leave more than just at a broken heart. Randy Moss. So the legendary NFL wide receiver is known for making jaw-dropping catches on the field, but when it came to his relationship with Libby Offert, the drama off the field was just as wild. The two were together for over a decade and had 5 kids, but despite their long run as a couple, they never actually tied the knot. That's where things get interesting. No marriage, no automatic settlement rules, but trust me, the financial terms of their breakup were nothing to scoff at. Moss, with an estimated net worth of around $62 million, had quite a bit to hand over when they parted ways. While the exact numbers aren't public, because who doesn't love keeping some things mysterious, it's widely believed that Moss gave Offert some pretty significant financial support, likely covering child support, housing, and all the other costs of raising 5 kids. If you're thinking it was a small price to pay for all those years, think again. With Moss pulling in a hefty salary during his playing days, this was no walk in the park for his wallet. Also, in 2016, Moss accused Offert of blowing $4 million on drugs. He claimed it led to him having limited contact with their children. Offert fired back, denying the accusations and saying she'd been clean for years. Despite all this, Moss kept his cool and eventually moved on to a second career as a sports analyst, proving once again that the man knows how to bounce back. Unfortunately, the next NFL player on my list didn't learn from others and paid a hefty price: Barry Sanders. This iconic Detroit Lions running back, known for his elusive moves on the field, had a pretty dramatic off-field situation when he went through a divorce with his wife, Lauren Campbell. The couple was together for 12 years, from 2000 to 2012, and during that time, they had 3 kids together. But in 2012, things hit a bump, and Barry filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The whole thing wasn't exactly smooth sailing, with the two fighting over child custody, child support, and, of course, property division. Now let's talk money, because that's what makes these celebrity splits so juicy. While the exact terms of their divorce settlement are still under wraps, it's widely believed that Barry had to hand over a pretty hefty chunk of his wealth. Barry Sanders was no stranger to big paydays during his NFL career, and with a net worth of around $8 million, you can bet that Lauren walked away with a solid sum. We're talking millions here. After all, when you're dealing with a high-profile marriage, those divorce settlements don't come cheap. As for the details, Barry wanted joint custody of their kids, but Lauren was asking for some serious financial support, including coverage for the kids' medical expenses after the divorce. After the split, Lauren didn't just sit around. She launched a marketing and consulting firm called the Elevate Project Inc., showing that she could make her own way. But even with her new business ventures, it's clear that her divorce settlement set her up pretty well financially. So, while we may never know the exact dollar amount, it's safe to say that Barry's divorce was no small financial hit. It's a classic case of paying the price after the end of a high-profile marriage. Up next is someone who lost more than just money: Steve McNair. Steve McNair, the beloved NFL quarterback who made a name for himself with the Tennessee Titans, had an off-the-field life that ended in an absolute tragedy that still leaves people shocked today. McNair was found dead on July 4, 2009, in a Nashville condominium, and the circumstances were nothing short of dramatic. He was shot multiple times, and next to him was his 20-year-old mistress, Sahel Jenny Kazemi, who had also been shot dead. The whole thing ended up being a murder-suicide, and the motive, a jealous rage with a side of financial desperation. Kazemi, who had been dating McNair for several months, had recently learned that McNair was seeing other women. She was also in financial trouble, and some reports suggest she may have been hoping McNair would bail her out, but things went horribly wrong. In the days leading up to the shooting, Kazemi had reportedly been getting more and more paranoid, thinking McNair was backing away from her. Apparently, her jealousy and suspicion reached a boiling point, and she snapped. The crime scene was gruesome. McNair was shot while sitting on a couch, and there were signs of a struggle, which suggested the situation wasn't just a cold-blooded killing, but rather an emotional outburst. Kazemi shot McNair and then turned the gun on herself, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Up next is an NFL player who suffered a lot from someone he trusted the most: Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk, one of the NFL's most exciting running backs, had a tough time off the field when his marriage to Lindsay Stout ended in divorce in 2014. The two had tied the knot in 2006 and welcomed their daughter Brooklyn in 2007, but after nearly a decade together, things didn't work out, and they went their separate ways. While the exact details of the divorce settlement are still private, it's safe to say Faulk had to write a pretty big check. With a reported net worth of around $20 million at the time, Lindsay likely received a substantial financial payout to support herself and their daughter. High-profile splits like this rarely come cheap. Lindsay didn't let the divorce slow her down, though. She pursued several projects, including releasing a music demo under the name Ella A, and later starting a skincare business. She even launched her own product line, Skin by Lindsay Faulk, which includes things like face serums and trendy ice globes for facials. Talk about a post-divorce glow-up. Faulk, on the other hand, faced challenges balancing his career and parenting his 6 kids from various relationships, and his post-NFL life hasn't been without drama. In 2017, he was named in a lawsuit involving workplace misconduct at the NFL Network. The case was eventually settled, but it added another layer of complexity to his already eventful life. In the end, Marshall Faulk's divorce is another reminder that life off the field can be just as messy as a pile-up at the goal line. While he may have lost a chunk of his fortune, he's kept moving forward, proving that even legends have to tackle life's challenges head-on. Up next is an NFL player who saw his bank balance vanish faster than a touchdown pass under pressure, but he is doing something different from other NFL stars: Bobby McCrae. The former NFL defensive end, who once brought the heat on the field, is now facing a different kind of battle: divorce court drama. After 13 years of marriage to actress Khadijah Huck, the couple called it quits in August 2023, citing irreconcilable differences. They share 3 children: Christian, Celine, and Capri, but their split is turning heads for more than just co-parenting talks. Fast forward to August 2024, and McCrae officially filed for divorce, asking for joint custody of the kids. Here's where it gets juicy. McCrae isn't just stopping at custody, he's also asking for spousal support from Huck, while requesting the court to deny her any financial support. It's a bold move, especially when you consider his hefty NFL earnings, including a $20 million contract with the Saints in 2008. But let's be real, retirement money doesn't grow on trees, and McCrae's bank account might not be what it used to be. Huck, for her part, isn't just known for her roles in films like ATL and Sky High, but also as a Kardashian bestie. With connections that are glamorous, it's hard not to wonder how much she really needs from McCrae. Still, Huck's own career and financial standing will be key factors in the court's decisions, especially since McCrae's asking for her to pony up. The financial nitty-gritty remains a mystery, but high-profile divorces like this often mean lawyers arguing over assets, properties, and more zeros than most of us will ever see. Both McCrae and Huck seem focused on their kids, but you have to wonder, who's walking away with the better end of this deal? Let's just say, McCrae might be wishing he tackled his playbook for love with as much precision as he did opponents on the field. Up next is an NFL player who suffered a messy divorce: Ryan Shazier. The former Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker, known for his inspiring recovery from a spinal injury, recently found himself in a different kind of battle: a divorce from his wife, Michelle Rodriguez. The couple, who tied the knot in 2019, seemed picture-perfect on the surface, but cracks began to show when Shazier filed for divorce in early 2024. Allegations of infidelity swirled around Rodriguez, fueling speculation that the relationship had been on the rocks for some time. The timing raised eyebrows, with some wondering if Michelle had her sights set on Shazier's NFL fortune all along. Let's not forget that Shazier amassed a net worth of roughly $4 million during his career, a significant sum despite his early retirement due to injury. While details of the divorce settlement remain under wraps, the court's decision to seal the case has only added to the intrigue. Shazier's fans have been quick to defend him, pointing out that Michelle benefited from his financial success during their marriage. From lavish trips to high-end living, her lifestyle was undeniably elevated by her NFL husband. Now, with a divorce on the table, many are speculating just how much she might walk away with. The couple shares one son, Lion, born in 2019, and Shazier also has an older son from a previous relationship. While Shazier has asked for joint custody, questions about child support and potential alimony loom large. If the court sides with Rodriguez, she could be set for life without ever having stepped onto the field. For now, Shazier seems focused on protecting his assets and ensuring a fair outcome. As for Rodriguez, well, let's just say her post-divorce plans might be a little less glamorous if the settlement doesn't go her way. The last NFL on my list did give away a lot of money to those who were after it, but he learnt from the experiences and played a smart move that saved him millions. Cordell Stewart. Once known as Slash for his versatility on the NFL field, Cordell Stewart proved he had some serious moves off the field too, especially when it came to protecting his wallet. His whirlwind marriage to Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams looked glamorous on the surface, but behind the scenes, Stewart was making sure he didn't fumble his finances. The couple tied the knot in 2011, and for a brief moment, it seemed like the perfect match. But fast forward to 2013, and their marriage hit the rocks. Cordell filed for divorce, leaving Porsha stunned. However, the real plot twist came in the courtroom. Porsha walked away with almost nothing. You see, Cordell played this one smartly. Thanks to a prenuptial agreement and a keen sense of self-preservation, Porsha didn't see a dime in alimony. Her final haul, some clothes, jewelry, her engagement ring, and $19,000 to cover her attorney fees. Not exactly the glamorous payday she might have been banking on. Meanwhile, Cordell kept the mansions, the luxury cars, his retirement savings, and every piece of his business interests. Talk about a defensive play. While Porsha tried to spin the story as her walking away for emotional freedom, you can't help but wonder if she underestimated Cordell's strategy. In the end, Stewart showed that he wasn't just good at reading defenses on the football field, he could spot a financial blitz coming from a mile away. For Porsha, the marriage may have been short-lived, but the lesson she learned? Priceless. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, check out the suggested content on your screen by clicking one of the cards displayed.